will only hurt bad people.
Only the worst.
Howdy folks, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hey friends. If you're not, thank you so much for the faith, because last week was not it. It was not. It was a giant cluster, and this week has not been much better, but you know, we're here. I have to tell you. So I went through the whole process last week. Like, I did the movie. I've watched it. I watched it twice. Which I watched Bug. If you've never heard of that movie, I highly recommend that you look it up and go watch it. I went into this whole deep dive about what was going on in the story. I went into a whole thing beforehand about the director. Like, I put a lot of work into it. I did a little more digging into the background because it was actually kind of fascinating to me on this one. But I absolutely hate the movie. I hate the movie Bug. It is terrible. It's not terrible, is the thing. It's a great movie. It's a fantastically done, strategically done, wonderfully done movie that I absolutely hate. I hate it 1000%. I refuse to watch it again, but I put so much work into it. Like, that's why I put so much work into it. It's like, I want to get this right so that I don't have to do it again. I made the video. I was like so proud of myself because I made it in like record time. I mean, it was only the third video, so you know, there's still record time. It counts. It's whatever. High score. um, and I sat down. I went through like 2 days of editing. I know that seems like a really long time. I'm slow, y'all. I still don't know what I'm doing. But I like made so many, like, I cut a lot of stuff out, and also it wasn't 2 straight days. I had just been working for 2 days. I sat down. I had put everything together. I had to like filming clips because I was like using my phone before. I sat down. I put everything together. I just needed to add in like movie clips and stuff like that. And I don't know what happened. I do not. I don't even want to look it up. It doesn't matter. I'm past it now. But I don't know what happened. But all of a sudden, like, I'm using Adobe Pro, and it's been auto saving, which is great. Like, that is key because I tend to fuck things up. Uh, and I don't know what happened, but for some reason, it wiped everything. Like, it took out maybe 20 minutes of the 30-minute video that I had put together. Like, so proudly, too, by the way. I was so proud with how quickly I had done it compared to the first two videos. And yeah, I just had that moment of just.
What have I done?
And like, normally I would be infuriated and want to break something because I'm a toddler. Uh, but I was just like fine with it. So I guess it's fine. I it's not even I wasn't even mad. Honestly, I wasn't even mad. I don't even like the movie. I do recommend that you guys see it. No, seriously. 2006 Bug starring Ashley Judd and Michael Shannon. I'm not going to go into the whole thing because again, I already did that. But again, you should go see it. I'm pretty sure you can find it on Amazon. I own the movie because my mom liked to torture me with really, really bad movies that I despise. So I own the movie, but I am pretty sure that you can see it on Amazon. All of that to say, all of my work was destroyed yesterday or last week, and it's fine. I kind of used the time to get better equipment, so hopefully this sounds and looks a lot better for you guys. I also wanted to kind of take a little step back and get a little more direction on the channel and just kind of figure out what I want to do. And honestly, I just wanted to be lazy. I was not feeling it. I was just not feeling it. And I can't make my brain go when it says no. But like I said, I just took it as a sign that that video was not meant to go out. I honestly wasn't even feeling it while I was editing it, but like I had already done so much that it was like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna use it. And the universe said, no, it's shitty shit, and it just got rid of it. So maybe one day I'll actually sit down and put the clips back together. Probably not. I'm definitely not going to watch the movie again. But again, I definitely want you guys to go see it. And then, like, in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram, let me know how you feel about it because I'm very curious. I want to talk about it. I don't want to watch it, but I want to talk about it. Like I said, we're back at it again. New equipment, better attitude, ready to go. A movie that I absolutely would watch 1,000 more times, like no questions asked, unless y'all want to watch it, and that's the question. Like, yes, absolutely, please, I'll be there. Because it is, mm, mm, it's trash, and it's like, it's perfection. Absolute perfection. I love it. 10 out of 10. Perfect. Let's get into it.
Like, I seriously enjoyed this movie. I've seen it probably 5 times in the last 3 days. Not ashamed of that at all. Not. I'm probably gonna watch it again in a couple weeks. I probably take a break though, because I think everyone around me is tired of watching it. Let's get into it. Velociraptor? No. Velocipastor. One of those movies that for sure is bad on purpose, and I love those. Those are absolutely my favorite. I put movies into like bad movies into three main categories. There's like intentionally bad, but done in a way that is poorly done. If that makes sense. Like it's bad and intentionally bad, but they try so hard to go for like the cheesiness and like the effect of that kind of movie without like genuinely making a decent movie. Like you can have a bad movie that's a good movie, and then there you have a movie that's like y'all try too hard, and this just is like, ugh, you know. There's also the movies that weren't intended to be bad, and I feel bad that they are bad. You can clearly tell that they went into it. Somebody went into it, director, writer. Somebody went into it with like intention, and like with purpose, and they wanted to create something really, really nice, and that's not what happened. And then you have movies that just understood the assignment. I don't even know how else to describe it. Like they got it. It's bad and entertaining at the same time. Like it is a movie that is a ride. It is a fun ride the entire time. Are you going to get all the things that you would get from a good film? Maybe not. Maybe the story has some holes. Maybe there's some things that don't need to happen or should have happened, or you're just sitting there like, what? But it's still fun the whole time. Like you're not mad. That's really what it comes down to. Is does the movie make me mad when I'm done with it, or was I at least like, well, that was fun? The movie starts with our main character, Doug. He's a priest. So half that title's a lie already.
You lie! You lie!
So he's a priest. We start the film. He's speaking to his congregation. It's a nice, beautiful day. He goes outside. He sees his parents, and then their car explodes. But like, it's great. It's just it's. There's so many things that I wish I could show you guys that like if I did, it would be the whole movie, and that's not the point. Go watch it yourself. It is free on Amazon. Go watch it yourself. But like, watch this first. So
parents' car blows up, and they all dead now. So right off the bat, yeah. Then we meet Father Stewart, who is there to comfort him, and I gotta say, like, and just every ounce of this movie, every single second of this movie is so completely intentional. Like, it's not even funny, but it is funny, and it's perfect. So many choices, perfect. But the guy that plays Father Stewart is, I can't tell if he's a bad actor or not. He's either like a terrible, terrible, terrible actor, or really, really good one that also understood the assignment. So anyway, he's trying to comfort Doug, and weird, awkward exchange that again was completely intentional, and I love it. And basically tells him that he should go to where he thinks God won't follow. I guess in an effort to like test his faith and make sure that he does want to be a priest, because he now has second thoughts, because why would God let his parents explode? And then we get this long ass intro, which is kind of funny because this movie is only 70 minutes long, and the intro is like three. And then I guess he assumed God wouldn't follow him to China, because now he's in China. He comes across a woman running away. She's yelling at him. She's like shot with an arrow. He starts dying in his arms. So she gives him this dinosaur claw. I don't know. And then he wakes up back in bed. He's back at the church. Doug, it's like, hey, same dream. He's like, the same. And then Doug says some like slightly racist shit.
What did that Chinese say?
But Doug just kind of like tells him that he's fine and he probably just caught something, and they go on as business as usual. But then Doug starts feeling kind of funky, so he runs away. And as he runs, he bumps into what we later find out is our other main character, Carol. And we find out that her name is Carol because we follow her to meet a man named Frankie Mermaid.
And why is my name Frankie Mermaid?
Because you're swimming in bitches.
Like, although this movie has so many random shots that again feel completely intentional, but so many things go on just like a hair or two longer than they should, and it's just it's perfect. So later that night, Doug is in the woods transforming, I guess. And he happens to cross paths with Carol, who is about to be assaulted by this guy who's like gonna mug her, and just so much bad, wonderful, cringy dialogue. And basically, he transforms into a velociraptor. It is not. And he's old dude. He just straight up eats old dude. And then he wakes up the next morning in someone else's bed. Turns out to be Carol's bed. And there's kind of like this misunderstanding because she's thanking him for like the last night. That like last night was amazing. Thank you so much. And of course he has no recollection of what's going on, so he thinks that they did the do. And she's like, nah, dude, you turned into a dinosaur. And then we get another wonderful shot.
What? What?
He clearly doesn't believe her. She tells him that she can prove it because she can show him the body, which that don't prove nothing. That just means that you know where a body is. So she takes him to the woods, shows him the guy that he mostly ate the night before, and kind of tries to convince him, like, you should go and use your powers to help people, you know? Like, we could take out so many bad people. That's when he learns that she is a sex worker. And he is more upset about that than the prospect of, like, being half dinosaur and eating somebody.
Firstly, I'm a hooker and I did not want to be arrested. And secondly, you turned into a dinosaur and you ate him.
You're a hooker?
And pre-med law, but people aren't surprised as much by that one.
Like, dude, what? You can't be offended or, like, be on a high horse when you're dressed like half of Vilma right now. Anyway, he's mad about it, so he runs off to go priest. So we find him in confessional when Frankie Mermaid shows up and starts telling him all the awful things that he's done because he's a terrible person. And it turns out that he is the one that exploded Doug's parents. And he didn't like that. So he transforms and he kills the dude. He killed Frankie. He just straight up killed Frankie in the confessional. Then he runs off to go see Carol because I just ate a guy. And basically he's freaking out and he's like, I just killed the guy that killed my parents, and like he reveals that it's Frankie, and she just like hugs him and thanks him because he was her pimp. Is that a thing still? I don't really know how it works. It feels like that's not right, but that's who he was. And so, like, she's free now, and so she thanks him. Then we get our first of many montages where he's just out priesting. We see the two of them hanging out together. He's working out. We also see, like, random clips of him Velocipastoring. So then we take a random cut back to China. I don't know, but we meet this guy. I found out later that his name is Wei Jin. I've been calling him old dude. Like, my notes call him old dude the whole time because I swear they don't say his name till the very end. So he is there. There's also, like, this gender guy that's with him, and they're having a conversation in two different languages, which makes no sense because you're the only two people talking, so pick one. I don't even know what they're talking about, really. Again, I've seen this movie several times in the last couple days, but because I am who I am, and they were speaking both in English and Chinese, and so, like, every other sentence had a subtitle, and it was very annoying to me, but I also watch movies with subtitles. So, like, they were layered on top of each other. I don't know. There was some conversation about drug trading and Christianity. And then they laugh. So, cut back to Doug and Carol. Stuart actually catches them being all cute and couple-like because he's being a creep across the fucking street, and confronts him about it later, and it is like, you used to be a much better priest. He asked him if he's smashing and if he still wants to be a priest, and Doug is like, no, like, we're just friends. He ends up telling him everything, like that he's a dinosaur man. And his solution to that is to tell Doug that he needs an exorcism, because I don't think exorcisms fix that. Anyway, Stuart basically bans him from seeing Carol and tells him that he's going to reach out to the diocese so that he can get him an exorcism stat. And then locks him in his room like he's a fucking child. And then Doug has this, I don't know, he like, what would my parents do? And then he goes off into this daydream where they're just laughing. It's so bizarre. They're just laughing, and then at one point they like take him to
priest college, which must not be very long because they said they're gonna go around the block and pick him up. But essentially, they tell him that they're proud of him and that they like believe in whatever he decides to do and to follow his heart and whatever. Then Stuart takes Doug to go see his magician. I don't know. And then we have this like random ass war scene to like explain the history between the magician and Father Stewart. And I mean, again, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the scene, but it was completely pointless because it like shows the dude getting like it's a wartime scene, so the dude gets like shot. He like dies, but also he ain't died because it's a flashback explaining how you met the guy that we're talking to right now, so he couldn't have died in the flashback because it's a flashback. And then his wife was there and she also blew up. I don't know. Honestly, it's such a ridiculous scene, but my favorite part about it is his fucking hair. Also, who was he talking to? Because he started the scene, like the flashback started with him thinking to himself. Who the fuck was he talking to? You were there! Anyway, we're back to the summoning magic show thing, whatever. So the magician basically like forces Doug to transform, and he thinks that he kills Stuart, and then he just like scurries away. We get another random ass turn. Now we're with some ninjas. One of them who was having his own flashback about what I don't know, because it was in Chinese, but then like the people next to him were like explaining how they were gonna take down Doug, but also in Chinese, and again, overlapping subtitles, and none of the movie matters anyway, so whatever. Cut to Doug is now running over to Carol's house. He tells her everything, that he like attacked Stuart and that he's freaking out and he doesn't really know what or who he is anymore. And then we get like a really nice artsy sex scene. I like it. It's fun. Like there's no sex, it's fun. Feels like a music video, honestly. Yeah, it's some good shit. It had some good shit in it. I liked it. Anyway, they have their like artsy, cool music video sex scene. And the next day, some ninjas bust in through the window. And then they get their asses kicked. And then we cut back to China, where Stuart wakes up because he wasn't dead. And old dude, it's back to old dude, Wei Chen is sitting there with him. And he basically tells him that the drugs that his organization were trading were somehow they were attempts to control the world and force everybody into Christianity. But yeah, I probably missed some of it because again, it doesn't matter, and I didn't feel like reading. Anywho, Stuart is like, you can't do that. That's wrong. People should choose Christianity. And then he got shanked. Stuart's dead now. Carol and Doug show up because, of course, they do. He has to then fight the super ninja from earlier that was hanging out and laughing all weirdly with Wei Chen. I guess they're brothers. Turns out that they were brothers that he forgot about, I guess, and he like challenges him to a ninja duel and tells him that he's not gonna fight him with his sword because he don't want his blood on his sword. And then when he goes to fight him, it doesn't matter because he basically like uses the force to pull over the sword and like just stabs him. He just straight up stabs his brother. There's tomato sauce everywhere. And I didn't notice it the first time or third or fourth time. I've watched this movie a lot. I didn't notice it at first. But you can see when he's like stabbing his brother, like Carol's just in the background, just full on, like ready to fight. Like, and part of me wonders if like she didn't even see, like, you don't see he dying over there. Like, did the director not tell you? Like, look over there. Then Carol
like was fighting some ninjas and was beating them up too bad, so then they called in the super ninja who came out with like a giant sword and just sliced her, so she's just over there bleeding on the ground. Doug runs over there. She took entirely too long to die. Like, just die. She basically tells him that like he didn't need the dino powers to be better than them. It was his heart that made him better than them the whole time, and that's why he can beat them. It's like, it's probably because they're shitty ninjas, because she kicked their ass, and she can fight? Why do you need to fight? But I guess Carol's slaying was enough to like piss him off, so he fully transforms now. It's the first time we get to see like all of him. And he takes down all the ninjas, and then he gets shot with a fucking arrow. It had some kind of like anti-dino venom. I don't fucking know. But it shoots him in the leg, and all of a sudden he is just a dude again. Old dude comes over and is like doing the whole menacing bad guy, any last words kind of thing.
Do you have any last word? Velocipastor!
He said it! He said it!
I guess it didn't fully take effect, because then he kills old dude. He just rips his head off with his one remaining dino hand. We get another random ass scene where we find out Carol's fine. She cool. And then, yeah, we see them, like, kind of on a hilltop. He's wearing his greaser's outfit. They're leaning against his car, talking about how they're going to have to keep the good fight going, basically. And, yeah, that's the end of the movie. So, again, it's only 70 minutes long. It's 70 minutes of time well spent. Definitely. Like, this is one of those movies. Like, I really hope I can like find it somewhere where I can have a hard copy, because it needs a space. There's a space waiting for it on my wall. Because I like seriously, this movie is so bad, and I love every second of it. And I fully recommend that every single one of you watches it, because it's so fun. It's so fun. Anyway, it's kind of a short one this week, because like I said, I was not with it. I was not feeling it, and you get what you get. Thanks again for tuning in. If you have any other movie suggestions for me, you can go ahead and put them in the comments down below, or send them over to me on Instagram. Again, if you like this video, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when I upload next week. And we'll see you then. Bye!